Hello everybody, it's vanburman here and welcome to another one of my podcasts. Today I'm going to be discussing the topic of success on YouTube. Ooh. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this or not because, I don't want to sound like I'm moaning, but basically I am going to be moaning. And it's sort of one of those, I don't know, it's one of those things where you get to, where it's sort of like you think, well, he's moaning about others' success because he's jealous and that's what he wants. Well, yeah, I guess to a certain extent that is true, and it's mainly the sort of like advantages that come with that. Of course, it's like you want to be at the party, and the only reason you're upset is because you're not at the party. You're not popular enough. You're not good enough, whatever, to be at the party. So, of course, there's a certain part to that. There always is when you have people who are smaller on YouTube, like myself, talking about people who are very successful on YouTube. And there's lots of advantages that do come with that. I mean, as most of you will have seen, which is up now, hopefully you've seen, not many people have seen, but it is up, the interview that I did with the developer of the Legends of Isenworld, which of course is a very small game. It's a small independent game. Of course, it's on Steam. Greenlight's been greenlit, and I've pre-bought it as well. So that does help. I've already pre-bought the game. But the fact that there was a game developer out there that was willing to do an interview with me, despite the fact I've got a really small channel with not many people that are potentially going to watch it. I mean, of course, they can use the video and put it on their Facebook, put it on their main page or a link to it. Because obviously it's new news, isn't it? I mean, I've asked sort of overview questions as well, so there is that side, just to being on YouTube in general. And I do feel quite lucky that I am able to broadcast what I have. I've obviously built my own computer, purpose built for this, and I do enjoy what I get from it. I do enjoy the good feelings I get from, especially my tutorial videos and stuff like that, where people have found it helpful. And people come to me and ask me for help and advice, and that is really what makes YouTube for me, I have to say. It's not so much about the numbers, but of course the numbers are nice. I get to look at my channel now and see 190 something subscribers. It's really close to 200. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago it was 100, and I think it was 100 in this year. So in the space of this year, it's not over yet, but I will probably have gained 100 subscribers, which is well, it's really amazing. I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised that there's been 100 people in this world that will actually like my content, but apparently there is. And well, I can't really blame them for it because it's okay content. It's something that fills the time. I mean, that's all YouTube is anyway. But I don't know. The problem I have is that I do struggle sometimes to do the stuff that I want to do. Obviously, the developers of Legends of Isenworld are not the only developers I've been in touch with. There've been a couple of others who have asked to look at my channel, which, I mean, I have no problem with showing them my channel, but I know the first thing that when they click on my channel they're going to look at is how many subscribers. Oh, 190. Not 190,000. Well, I guess there's no point doing an interview with this guy. I guess there's no point sharing, helping him out or anything like that. Despite the fact, obviously, it comes out of my time to obviously research the game, play the game, come up with questions, but obviously that doesn't matter. It's not about the quality, it's about the numbers. And even if my quality isn't always amazing, it's consistent. Which is one thing, which is something that we don't get from every YouTuber. And the big ones take that for granted at times. You have to strike a balance between quality and quantity. And I mean, when is it easier to make videos? Is it easier when I have 2.5 million subscribers? Or is it easier when I have 20? What if I keep putting videos out when I only have 20 subscribers and it's not going the way? Obviously, of course, you're at a stage where you can make changes and it doesn't really matter. You can make fundamental changes to your videos and it won't matter. It won't matter one bit because there's not enough people watching it anyway. So you do have that experimental phase. Whereas when you're 2.5 million, you can't really go away from what you know and what people like. But, if you carry on doing what you're doing, people will like it and will watch it. And, we have seen many times where people have branched out. I mean, for example, recently we've had the Ashton's movie. Brilliant thing. I can't believe it's actually happened, to be honest. A proper feature film being made, developed for YouTube and put on YouTube. It's quite amazing, to be honest. And despite the fact that, he doesn't put up the most videos, he puts up quite a lot of videos, though, for a fairly big YouTuber. But then, of course, we get to the really big ones, and there was one which I've seen today, which I think maybe annoyed me a little bit, which is why I'm making this video. And the person that suggested me the channel will know who I'm on about. But he has a certain amount of subscribers, huge amount of subscribers, really. And 175 videos in 4 years. Is that really good enough for that many subscribers? I mean, at that point, YouTube is never just doing it for yourself. You are doing it for other people as well. And if you've got that many subscribers and they like your content, why aren't you making more of it? I mean, that's... I don't know, I guess it's about a video a week, or just less than a video a week, which I guess is fair enough. But, people who have subscribed, that many people that subscribe to you for personality, for your own personality, for your own spin on things. And, surely there's other content you can bring out. I mean, I do these podcasts, and there's probably like 4 people that listen to them. And probably no one listens to them all the way through. Or at least I hope they don't, because in that case they're just mad. Because even I don't listen to them all the way through. But I do record them all the way through, obviously. And I sort of lost my point there. It'll come back to me in a second. Yeah. So there needs to be more I think that there should be more content, to be honest. I mean, you've got that many fans and you're not putting out content for them. Whereas a smaller person who has very few fans will actually go and make sure that there's content out, will try to involve the people that subscribe to them as much as possible, which is one of the things that I do. I mean, whenever I get I think it's like 95% of all comments that are replyable I've replied to. Some of them I haven't, because some through laziness and others because a fair amount of my following is in America. So sometimes I'll get an email on my phone at 4 o'clock in the morning, someone says commented on this, and then by the time I've woken up, and I've already read, because sometimes emails wake me up, then by the time I get to my computer, I just forget that there's a message there, and don't have a chance to reply. Well, forget to reply, basically. So there is obviously those issues for me, but if it's urgent, sometimes I've a couple of times I've been known to actually, if I've seen that at 4 o'clock in the morning, get out of bed and turn my computer on just to be able to actually reply to that person. So I do really bend over backwards for it, and obviously that's harder to do when you have more subscribers. Don't get me wrong. If you've got 2 million people subscribing, subscribing as well, but putting comments on one of your videos, wanting a response, that's obviously not doable, or else you're just going to be spending your time doing nothing but that. But I don't see much in terms of replies from people who are that big on their own video comments. But then again, not many of them do tutorials and like helpful videos, more sort of entertainment videos. And I think that's maybe where the difference does come in from it. But no, at the end of the day, I am more than happy to claw and drag and work my way up. If I'm destined to go up, if I'm not, then that's fair enough. But I'm more than willing to keep doing what I'm doing and keep producing the content for, even if there's only a couple of people who like it. It really is as simple as that. And yeah, and I just hope people keep enjoying it, because if the people I've originally got on board, or the people that originally found me and decided that they like me, if I was ever to go away from that, then I think I'd be doing myself a disservice. I only put up videos of the games I want to play. Sometimes I put myself through a bit of torture, but well, I don't know, Battlefield wasn't really torture, but, games which I'm not totally comfortable with, sometimes I know that it's going to be interesting for me to go and try out those games. In one sense, I really do see what I do on YouTube as sort of, I guess, sort of like a time capsule, I guess. One day, when I'm older, I might be able to go back and, relive some of my memories, which obviously come through gaming. I remember playing many games for hours on end, and it's just a bit of nostalgia. So I definitely feel as though I have that part through YouTube, which I've gained anyway, and I've met some really nice people through it as well, and really just being able to help people as well in certain, with certain, for example, certain bits on RPG Maker, perfectly fine with. Quitting obviously Infestation and giving away some of my stuff, that was all really good, because it does help people out, and that's, I don't know, really I'd like to build a community, I guess, but I want to build it in a certain way. I mean, obviously a lot of big channels are very broad in their I can't think of the word, I'm too tired. Appeal. That's him. Yeah, I think I'll think of that word. Very broad in their appeal, and therefore they get all sorts of people subscribing. But I don't know. I am really sort of after people with the same sort of interests and desires as me, just because I feel that they're definitely the people that are going to get far more from it. You're not going to be subscribing to me for my personality as such. You might be subscribing to me for some of my ideals and some of the games that I love to play, but you're not going to be subscribing to me because I'm a funny guy, because while I may have my odd moments, generally I'm not. And I think that's the point, really. It's definitely the difference between my smaller channel and the big channels. So, anyway, if anyone does have any thoughts on the topic which I brought up, then please do leave a comment down below. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere yet. Just because I'm complaining about it doesn't mean that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm just the sort of thing I'm envious about is the fact that these people can make a full-time job doing it. Full-time job doing what I love doing. Having the chance to be able to do whatever. And that side of things does really annoy me. I mean, I would happily get paid just enough to live on through this, and only have to do this. I say only have to. Only this be my only job. I get to be able to put all my time into this and just have enough to live on. That would be fine. I could do that, and I would really love it. And that's the bit I'm envious about. So I think it's a pretty natural thing to be envious about when you've made. Well, when I currently have on my account over 500 videos, not all of which are viewable because some of them are more personal ones which I've just stuck up there because it's easier to share with people, or it was easier to share with people before. So I think I don't actually know how many I've got. Let me click on a video and find out. Oh, it's going to make noises. 364 at this moment in time are public. This one will, it'll be higher than that when this one comes out. So, but even so, that's a lot of videos considering I started in November. I might have to do. I might actually have a look and see how many I have actually done, and see how consistent I am at uploading. You see, the thing is, I've gone through patches where I don't want to upload, and the thing is, sometimes I make a couple of episodes, over that I can upload later. For example, like the Duels with me and Dead Man Fall, they're obviously not done on each of those days. They're actually done all at the same time, but put into episodes, so that I can put them up, well, as I did one day after the other, just to make things a bit more spread out, and it gives people something to look forward to as well. I mean, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I follow, and I love waiting until, or I love, having that anticipation of the next day when I can see what else they brought out. But anyway, I've rambled on for far too long, as I always do in these podcasts. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed hearing my voice again, and I'll see you on my next video. Goodbye.